Everyone's had at least one moment in their life where they've been morally conflicted, almost like they're Itachi Uchiha from Naruto. Let me give you a personal example. One time, I went to the zoo with a friend and I drank 5 cups of water, and on the car ride home, I peed myself. This wasn't recent, I was a kid, but I was morally conflicted at the time. Do I tell them I peed myself or do I say I spilled the water? I said I spilled the water. Obviously, I didn't get away with it, but could you blame me? I hardly knew the kid's parents. I was embarrassed. Would you call me a bad guy in that situation? Well, that's what we're doing in today's video. I asked you guys in the Discord to give me your craziest experiences, and I'll be deciding if you're the bad guy or not, or the a-hole. Let's keep it PG though. I laughed when my sister was heartbroken that Rengoku died because you finished Demon Slayer before her. You know you're supposed to give a reason for this, right? If you just do something evil and give no justification, how am I supposed to judge you?
Yes, you're the bad guy here.
I had a classmate a few years back who started slandering your good name and got the whole class to believe you and a girl were dating. This same guy was tormenting you the entire previous year, so I ended up grabbing him by the collar and holding him up off the ground like Baki Hanma. Yeah, add this to the list of top 10 things that never happened. This only be happening in TV shows. There's no way you grab Buddy like Darth Vader and gave him a force choke. But in the event this is somehow real, I'd say you're pretty justified as long as it was just a threat, not if you actually choked him. This was looking rough off the jump. My mom has cancer and I finally got to play in a boys volleyball team. After the season ended, we had our banquet, but it was the same night as the mom's important dinner for her cancer. I tried to do everything in my power to skip and go to the sports banquet and was forced to go to dinner. Are you the bad guy? Yes, you are the bad guy. Listen, I get the feeling of missing out on a fun event like a sports banquet, but this is for your mom. You just hate your mom or something? My friend's brother threw a basketball at my head, so I said to my friends he threw a basketball at me, and his parents heard and told him off, making him cry. My friend blames me for making his brother cry. I don't feel like I did anything wrong, but I don't know. Yeah, you didn't really do anything wrong. Someone threw a basketball at your head, you told somebody, and he got in trouble for it. It's not even like you snitched either. They just overheard you, and now you're getting blamed for it? You might need some new friends. When watching Naruto, I wondered, is Infinite Tsukuyomi that bad? I mean, no one really suffered and everyone died peacefully, so what's the downside? This is actually a really compelling point, and it makes Madara's plan seem like he was actually right. I don't blame you. I can see the arguments, I really can, but I'm just looking at it through Naruto's perspective. If you're looking at all your friends' lifespan get sapped away, how could you blame him for wanting to save them? However, I don't really think you're a bad guy for believing this. A part of me actually believes it too. Am I the a-hole for abandoning my girlfriend for Blox Fruits? I, 22 male, oh, why did you say your age? You could have gotten away with this if you didn't say that. Anyways, recently graduated from university along with your girlfriend, who you had a strong relationship with for 4 years. Recently, she's been acting cold and distant because I'm playing too much of that stupid Roblox game. Personally, I don't think I spend that much time, probably only around 10 hours a day. I still have enough time in the day to spend with her, but she insists that it's too late when I finish playing around 10 p.m. How is that plenty of time in the day? Anyways, I haven't missed anything important like her birthday or anniversary, and we always go out to celebrate, but she thinks it isn't enough. Alright, it seems you have a pretty different perception of what enough time means. You're saying you aren't free until 10 p.m. because you're playing Roblox. I can see where she's coming from, especially since you're 22. I wouldn't think you're a bad guy if you're 10 years old, but you're a grown man. At least it seems like you're there when it actually matters, but that's the bare minimum. You might want to invest more time in your relationship than investing in Robux. Am I the a-hole if I jump someone just because they won the lottery? Okay, this seems more of like a hypothetical scenario. I'm actually interested in what you guys think. Me personally, I wouldn't blame you, especially if they just won and they're flaunting it around. Yeah, you're making yourself a target. At the same time, I can't just sit here and justify a robbery, but I see the vision. I was arguing with a kid who stuck his tongue out me like the anime bleh type of thing. Then I punched his glasses off and accidentally stepped on them. I meant it on accident. One of his parents said if I do it again, I have to pay, and I didn't have to pay that time. W finesse. Alright, are we just gonna ignore the fact that he punched the kid and then said he accidentally stepped on the glasses? I mean, that seems like the lesser of two evils. I wouldn't say you're the bad guy for the accident, but you did punch the kid in the face. Yes, you're a bad guy for that. Not me, but someone I knew was getting bullied, so he took his mom as a prom date that year. Safe to say the bullying stopped. Someone investigate that mom taking the kid to prom. What is this, a doorman skit? I mean, good for the kid, but someone also check on him. He might be a victim. One time I was at my house and I was a little hungry, so I went in the kitchen to get leftover chicken and my little brother was eating it, so I locked him in the wardrobe. You could not have been that hungry. You couldn't just go to sleep hungry. You had to lock him in the wardrobe just because he was eating some chicken. Well, he had the same thought process as you. An old lady was walking past me and tripped and creased my new Jordan, so my friend who was next to me told me to spit on her, so I did. did? Am I the a-hole? You know, I have a small feeling, maybe it's a hunch, that this guy might be a bad influence on you. She did crease the Jordans though, so I guess you're somewhat justified. Sorry, Granny. In a team meeting, I said, some of us are taking on extra work lately. I didn't name any names, but Rachel looked away. Oh, Rachel ain't putting in the work. After that, she stopped talking to me. Later, I learned she was overwhelmed with family stuff. I was honest, but maybe I should have been kinder. Are you the bad guy? No, you're being a leader. First of all, you didn't call anyone's name out, so if people gotta pick up the work, you made that clear, and the fact that Rachel looked away means that she wasn't the one putting in the work. Unless you were staring directly at Rachel when you said this on some, I'm not gonna name any names, but you didn't personally attack her, so she took this way more personal than she should have. My older brother always took my chicken tenders. They were really good, by the way, and I eventually got annoyed and asked my mom to make my food extra spicy. Also, I accidentally put in some laxative. This is the second chicken-related experience. Also, how do you put laxatives in a chicken tender? I'm actually curious. Like, you put it in the batter or something? Anyways, you're partially in the wrong here. You purposely put this in knowing he was going to eat it. It's a deliberate setup, but at the same time, it is your food, so 50-50. I, 28 male, wanted to buy the Star Wars Millennium Falcon 25th anniversary buildable starship model 75375, but some Jabba the Hutt looking guy bought it first, so I crapped on his car. That was not the crash out I was expecting. I was about to say you're justified for that. This is the Star Millennium Falcon 25th anniversary buildable starship model 75375. Unless you're a bird or something, this is kind of strange. I don't even know if I call you a bad guy. I'll just call you a strange individual. At the end of middle school, I had everyone sign my death note, including my teachers. It didn't work. Didn't someone actually get in trouble for doing this at school? I swear I've seen a news report before where someone tried to do this and the police had to get involved. So according to the law, yes, you're in the wrong. Imagine someone did this in Death Note though. You pull it out and say it's a yearbook, then everyone signs their names away. Okay, speaking of Death Note, this message is literally from Light Yagami. It says, I own this notebook that I was using to rid the world of scum. I had to use it to get rid of someone who was investigating me. Am I in the wrong for getting rid of him so I could continue making the world a better place? Yes, Light Yagami, you're in the wrong. You're trying to play God. Let's move along. I robbed a multi-billionaire international corporation without their knowledge, and it says in bars, I shoplifted a mango from Costco. You had me thinking you were some kind of super criminal, but you just took a mango. I feel like there's way worse crimes you could have committed, but you just took it. My friend from kindergarten told the whole class I wet the bed, so I put him in an infinite genjutsu. He's still there to this day. Reasonable crash out? You know what? As someone who's been in a similar situation, except I actually did it, reasonable. A classmate of mine said he never met his dad. I started giggling, then he gave me a look. I tried to lock in, but almost folded, you know? I feel like we've all been in a situation like this. The way it was presented could have been funny, so I don't particularly blame you given the information. Unless he just poured his heart out and gave you his tragic backstory and you started laughing in his face, of course. I once slapped a friend because he was eating a burger wrong. You know, it depends on how he was eating that burger. What burger eating method could this have possibly been? Did he disassemble the burger and eat each piece individually? Because I'd slap someone for that. Me and my homie were in class and he suddenly yelled, stop talking to me when I'm doing my work. Oh my goodness, you gotta hate the dude that always do this. Everyone looked at me weird, so I RKO'd him and threw him across the classroom. Okay, maybe that's a bit extreme, but we all know at least one guy that would do this. Even if you never did anything about it, I'm sure we've all had intrusive thoughts like this. I stole the moon with my minion army and now the world is kinda going to hell. Okay.
Who gave Gru the form?
In all honesty, I don't really blame Gru for being a bad guy. That man's backstory was rough. Back in high school, me and another guy were best friends. We were both preparing for the same exam. Results came and I didn't get enough marks to qualify. Out of embarrassment, I didn't talk to him after the results. He contacted me multiple times that I didn't feel like answering. Since then, I never met him or talked to him. It's been over 2 years and I hope to never meet him again. The exam could not have been that serious. Would you take the tuning exams? He's probably sitting somewhere wondering where he ever went wrong. He didn't even do anything in the first place. I was at a local Beyblade tournament and moved on to the top 32. My first opponent was this 8 to 10 year old and I beat the brakes off this kid. Oh my goodness. Not only did I 7-0 him, but they were all stamina finishes. So this kid had to watch every single time. I mean, I can't call you a bad guy for this. Ain't no mercy in Beyblade. Kid should have thought about that before he signed up. Back in elementary, some rando tried to push me down while I was sitting at the top of the slide. So I pushed him down on the concrete floor and insulted him. So let me get this straight. You were sitting at the top of the slide, blocking everyone from being able to use it. And then a hero comes and pushes you down. So you climb back up and push him on the concrete in retaliation. In what universe are you in the right? Now this one is actually interesting. Every time I kill a fly, I don't just step on it or squash it. No, I give it the Mortal Kombat fatality by ripping its body limb from limb. You might be kind of a psycho, but you also might be onto something. I don't know if there's any fly enthusiasts out there, but these things live to eat poop and annoy you. So I get the frustration. I don't exactly take my anger out in the same way, but I wouldn't exactly call you a bad guy for doing this to a fly. That kind of rhymes. We're on to the very last one here, and I think this is a really interesting situation. I'm gonna need to hear y'all's thoughts on this. I wanted both Light Yagami and Eren Yeager to win. I still felt bad for the innocents who died, aside though. Now, the fact that they're fictional characters gives you a pass here. I don't blame you for wanting the main characters to win. It's not like they're real people. You're not supporting real actions. It's a fictional story, but there's really people out there that would tell you otherwise. So after going through these, I think it's safe to say that most of you are psychopaths. But as always, if you want to be a part of future videos, interact with the community, and suggest ideas to me, be sure to join the Discord and check out all the links in my description. If you got any insane experiences yourself, be sure to comment it down below and we can continue this in the comments. But as always, if you want to be a part of future videos, be sure to join the Discord. Also got plenty of other links in the description if you want to check me out elsewhere, but that's about it for me. I'll see you on the next one.